So if we get data from the backend, so what will happen? We have to send data from the backend only. So from TypeScript only, we have to navigate. So we cannot come to HTML, right? So if you come to HTML, there should be again some event should happen, right? So some click should happen, something. So if I'm already in this method and I'm getting fetching data from the backend, I can navigate from here only. So if I want to navigate from HTML, somebody should do something. So he need to click some button or something he need to do. Otherwise, how it will navigate? It won't navigate. So from here, there is a code, so it will navigate automatically. You don't need to do any action because already we reached this method. Okay. So that is the advantage. If whenever you want to navigate from the TypeScript, you can navigate through code. And if you want to navigate from HTML, yeah, here also when you click, that time only it will reach here. But what I'm telling is, assume that we are clicking on some button and we are trying to go and fetch some data from the backend. So now we fetch the data. After fetching the data, automatically I should navigate to child one. I should not wait for user to click again, right? So in that case, so I can use in the TypeScript. So when we use in HTML, already I have data. I already have calculations and everything ready. So I just need to send it once user clicks on. I don't need to go and fetch from the backend and all. Nothing I have to do. In that case, I can use it from the UI. So here I have everything ready. Then I can click. So in this case, what I'm doing, I'm just doing some calculations. Okay.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. This is about required parameters. Here we can make optional parameters also. Something like optional parameters. This is query parameters. Let's say optional parameters means so here you don't need to mention it, but what you can do is in the parent HTML, you don't need to mention, but still you can send the data. Okay. Yeah, sorry, price is 0, that's nice. Okay. See that I'm able to send the data. Why it is before that we are using some variable here, right? In the routing module, we are sending some variable here /I some data and all. So required parameter means it is mandatory to send data, but optional means you can either send or you can leave it. If you want to send, you can send it, or if you don't want to send, you can leave it. So if I don't send also, nothing will happen. It will work normal routing. But when it is required, then you should mandatorily send the data. So if I send it, yeah, it is navigating without any data. See the case when it is required. Now it is required. So what will happen? It won't navigate because it will throw error. There is something is required. We don't have any match routes because there is one data is required. Optional means you don't need to mention this. but still you can send the data. It is not mandatory. Either you can send or nor you can leave it. So now I'm sending, sorry, now I'm not sending, nothing is going. So if I send, the data will go. You understood this optional concept? Any doubt here? See, now I am sending data. So I sent data. It doesn't matter whether you are sending or not sending, still it will route in case of optional. But in case of required parameter, so how we will declare required parameter? In the routing module itself, we'll mention the variable name. That is required. Definitely it is required while navigating to child one. Okay. If you don't mention, still you can send the data. That is optional data. If you send, it will take. If you don't send, still it will route it. Any doubts here? Hello. Hello. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Then we have query params. So query params are similar to optional parameters, but only difference is, so you have to mention it as a query params. So I'll show you that difference, how it looks. So when you are sending in the router link, so you have to send like this, right? See, in the URL, there won't be any change. In the path, there won't be any change, like just like optional. So there won't be any variable declaration in the URL. Okay. And here we don't have anything. And I'm sending query params. So while receiving also, it is query param map. So previously what we are using, param map. Now what we are using, query param map. Okay. Now let's say, can anybody tell what is the difference you found in the optional query param and required?
In URL, there is a change, sir, I think.
Yes. In URL, there will be some change. So in URL, now it is looks like question mark, right?
Question mark, yes.
Yes. Previously it was semicolon. Correct. So when you send it as ID, it was slash. Sorry, when you send it as a required parameter, it will show as slash. It will take it as a path only. When you make it as an optional, it will put semicolon. When you send it as a query param, it will be question mark. What is the difference? So why only path difference, or what? How does it make sense for a developer? Whether it is a question mark or hyphen or anything, it doesn't matter for a developer, right? Why we need a query param then in that case? We can send optional parameters also. We can send ID parameters also, means required parameters also. The query parameters means previously we are not able to send entire product, right? So the entire product we are not able to send. Previously it was throwing error. Now we can send entire product in the query params. See now. So here let's put any. Parent.ht. So now I can send entire product. Here dot product products. Here I am reading it. In the parent, I am sending the entire product. Let's navigate about product price what happened. What happened? Okay, let's debug it. So child component. So here we are getting right. Let's put a console here. Let's see what we are getting here. Console dot log dot child data. So I'm sending the data. Okay, so it is converting it as an object. So we have to, that object is converted as a string. Okay, it always returns string. What we can do is here. Dot my data equals to JSON dot stringify. So what I'm doing, I'm converting my product, entire product as a string, and I'm setting it to some my data. So now I will send this my data. Okay. So now when I click on some button, I have to parse it first. Can everybody see? So we have to parse this before we send the data. Okay, so now I am parsing it and I am sending it to child1 component. So now here I will receive it, right? So first we will take it as a string only, then we will parse it to JSON dot parse. Okay. So I'm getting string and I'm assigning to some text and I'm parsing it. Okay, let's see now. So now let's parse it first. I have clicked on parse, then I have clicked on HTML. So let's see the text. See, the text is coming as selected false, product ID, product price 1000, and distributor, everything is coming. So now let's see what is there in the child data. See, all the details I'm getting in the child data. Now if I print it, so I'll get the child data. Okay, so like this, we can send all the data to child component from parent component using query parameters. The only problem with the query parameters is in the URL, you can see that particular data. Okay, in most of the cases, we will be seeing some data, right, in the URL. So that's because of this query params. Okay, any doubts here regarding query params? See, the same way we will send here also in query params. If you want to send from router, then we can send using this way, this syntax. Any doubts here?
Karthik, if I want to hide the total query parameters data, is there a way?
I didn't get you.
In the URL we are getting the parameters now.
Yes, query parameters means you will be able to see in the URL, obviously.
Yes. If I want to hide that data,
No, you cannot hide it. In that case, you can use either provider service or @input output, or we have seen one more, right? Angular dialog, material dialogs.
okay.
So query params means obviously it will show in the URL. If it is data is not mandatory, then only we will show it in the URL. Otherwise, we will use provider service or some other way to send data from one component to another component. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, that's all from today. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Tomorrow we'll see different concept. Tomorrow we'll see HTTP interceptor, and we'll see session management also. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, the class will be there. I'll post in the group also. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.